Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying, that Yahawashi, call Haloyim La, Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, well, blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that's scattered abroad, Akim and Aqua that's listening in, Yahweh Ratazah, Lord, willing that the lesson is edifying. Brother Shabab, I'm going back at you with another lesson. The title of this lesson is called The Performance Off Camera, right? And going into that topic, we have to, we have to make sure that we examine ourselves daily, right? And again, this is for me first and foremost. First, the greatest teacher is yourself. At the end of the day, you doing the work of the Lord, you watching your own videos. You are your greatest teacher because sometimes we be so in spirit, so into the spirit when we're bringing out lessons that we don't even realize half of the things that we're saying because it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And that's why, you yourself are your greatest teacher. The Lord is in you at the time when you're bringing out these lessons. The Lord brings man's goings of the Lord, so how can a man understand his own way? The Lord brings these lessons to your attention to edify the sheep, but also to edify yourself. But you have to remember that, when we're bringing out this word, we're living by these scriptures. It ain't just in front of the camera. We got to live, the same way off the camera. You got people that'll come up and do a video and, say this, say that, telling you what you should do, but then themselves ain't doing what they're preaching. And you have to remember that when you bring out this word, man, you have to live according to what you're teaching to brothers and few sisters in this truth. Right? It's important that we live the same exact way when we are on the camera. All right? And then when we're off the camera, we have to live the same exact way. Shalom, brother Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Barakatah. And again, this is for me first and foremost. Because sometimes I'll go do some dumb shit that I knew better, and I'll be looking at it like, why did I even do some stupid shit like that? Knowing that I know better. All right, as a matter of fact, let me grab that. It's Second Ezra's, Second Ezra's, Ecclesiasticus 19:24. Because you don't want to have all this wisdom, man, and you're not living by the wisdom that you are serving to other brothers and a few sisters out there. All right, but it says, start from 20. It's Ecclesiasticus 19. I'll start from 18. It says, the fear of the Lord is the first step to being accepted of him, and wisdom obtaineth his love. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. You see, so you're gonna receive the tree, the immortality that the Lord is gonna give you by doing what is required of you, required for you to gain salvation. So just because you're bringing out a lesson and you're doing these things on camera, all right, doesn't mean that when you get off camera you can go act like a damn fool. See, you have to live the same exact way that you're teaching the brothers and the few sisters out there. All right? It says, the fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and then all wisdom is the performance of the law. You see, it's the performance of the law. See, and that's the spirit right there, because I ain't even had this precept on deck, but the Lord directs your steps. So this is why, again, like I was saying before, you are your greatest teacher, man, because the Lord will speak to you through yourself sometimes, man, and get a point across. That's why, you know, I'll say that these lessons are always for me first and foremost. Okay. But it says, the fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law and the knowledge of his omnipotency. It says, if a servant say to his master, I will not do as it pleases thee, though afterward he do it, he angereth him that nourish him. You see? So how you going to go out there and you're going to go preach the word of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and then you're just going to go out there and be the total opposite of what you was just preaching? It's only going to bring wrath and anger upon Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. That's a way of destroying yourself. All right? And those will be the type that, you know, get beaten with many stripes. You know, when the time comes for FEMA camps, you know, you're going to be in those FEMA camps getting tortured. Why? Because you knew better. All right? Which is going to explain to that us a couple down. It says the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. See, you're preaching knowledge of wisdom. But then you go out there, you go do some wickedness. All right? That's not wisdom at all. That means all that wisdom that you just had of righteousness just went down the drain. Because when you get off the camera, you're living in your own ways. Okay? You're living in the ways that the Lord told you not to live. He told you to sow to yourselves in righteousness. All right? Let's grab that. That's Hosea. One second. Hosea 10 and 12. It says, sow to yourselves in righteousness. Meaning what? Plant good seeds of righteousness in your mind. Reap in mercy. Okay? Break up your fallow ground. Yeah, break up that hard head of yours. Break up the ways of you living, okay, that are in wickedness. All right? You have to transform your mind, the renewing of your mind. All right? It says, for it is time to seek the Lord Yahweh, so he come and rain righteousness upon you. Ye have plowed wickedness. See, we have lived in enough wickedness. Okay? We have reaped in iniquity. Ye have eaten the fruit of lies, because thou did trust in thy way. See, because we were leaning to our own understanding. We were thinking the way we wanted to think. See, the Lord has set a manual for you to live in a certain way. Okay, and that's how you're supposed to live. That's how you're supposed to live. That's gonna, you know, gain you your salvation. It says, in the multitude of thy mighty men. So because we did trust in our way, and in the multitude of thy mighty men, you know, the ways of the government, the ways of the society, all right, it has caused you to what? To plow in wickedness. And that's not what the Lord wants for us. He doesn't want us to be living in the ways of wickedness. So going back to Ecclesiastes 19 and 21, if a servant say to his master, I will not do as it pleaseth thee, though afterward he do it, he angereth him and nourisheth him. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. You see? So it's not acceptable to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to live in those ways, man. That makes you a whole hypocrite. Okay? Here it is, you want to go judge people, all right? But you're not taking the beam out your own eye. All right, let's grab that real quick. That's, I believe, in Matthew 6. This is Matthew 6, and well, you know what? Let me drop this down. That's what you're doing. You're living. You're trying to serve two masters. All right. I'll start from Matthew 6 and 22. It says, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, the whole body shall be full of light. Yeah, meaning what? Single meaning you be focused. Okay? In Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. He cannot serve God and mammon, all right? But the part that we want, which that means, you can't serve the Lord and be about your money. Mammon is about money. But we want the part that no man can serve two masters. Because you serving two masters make you a double-minded man, and a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You see? But you have to pick one. You're either going to love to serve the Lord, or you're going to love to do wickedness. And to love to do wickedness is sin, and the wages of sin is going to give you death. Okay? Now let me jump down, because I believe it's in this chapter. It says, one second. No, it's not in this chapter. Matthew 7, possibly. Matthew 7, I believe. Matthew 7, and yeah, there it is. Matthew 7, and I'll take it from the top. It says, judge not that ye be judged. That's a lot of judge not that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged, and with what measure ye mete, it shall be measured to you again. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considereth not the beam that is in your own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote of thy brother's eye. You see? So that's you doing what? That's you trying to go out there and judge people. You're trying to tell them, well, this is how you're supposed to be living according to the scriptures. The Lord wants this, the Lord wants that. But here it is, you yourself is not even living in that same mode, man. You're not doing what's required for YAHAWAH'S to be pleased of you. You're doing whatever the hell you feel like. And there be people like that. There's people out there that they know scriptures. That's why you got to be careful with, with those that are in sheep's clothing. Look like straight Israelites, talk all of that, but off camera, man, they acting like damn fools, man. Off camera, he might be a whole fucking smoker, whole drug addict, drug dealer. How about him? Well, you know. Salakia, Satan is messing with my life right now. Salakia, I can literally hold on. y'all can still hear me. See the brother Daniela, he's still posting the scriptures. So I know I must be still going live. Thumbs up, can y'all hear me? Everybody can hear me? Can y'all hear me? I'm assuming y'all can still hear me because the live is going. But I don't know. I'm just gonna continue on. But it's just a little choppy. Yeah, I'm sorry, Salakia. That's definitely Satan fucking with my live because I got full bars. I'm driving in the middle of the parkway, so I got the best reception right now. Salakia. But going back to what I was saying, we have to perform off camera the same exact way because the Lord is watching, beholding the good and the evil. All right, so things are constantly being reported to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, so going back, let me see what the brother got over here. That's the spiritual because I have Titus in my mind, but on the second chapter, all right. This is Titus 1:16. It says they profess that they know Yahweh, but in works they deny him. Oof. Being abominable and disobedient and onto every good work of reprobate. You see? So here it is, you're gonna preach the word of the Lord, but off camera, you're doing the total opposite, man. And by your works off camera, you are denying Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Being abominable and disobedient. Okay? Now, yeah, we're gonna fall off and do things here and there, but some people will fall off, and what does it say? The just man shall fall 7 times, right? But he get back up. But the wicked man is gonna fall right into mischief. He's gonna fall into mischief and continue to keep falling into mischief until he be destroyed and be taken out the way. That's why you have to be careful. You don't want to be taken out of the way, man, because now you become a castaway. All right, let me grab that real quick. A castaway, KJV, which is in 1 Corinthians 9 and 27. And it says, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection. Yeah, because you are serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, right? So your main duty is to keep your body in subjection toward him, man. Keep yourself submissive unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? Refraining your body, refraining your mind from all thine appetites. Because Satan's going to play around with you, man. Satan's going to mess around with your mind and make you try to do as much wickedness as you could possibly do right before the eyes of the Lord. And again, this is why, I'll say these things. This is for me, first and foremost, man, to keep my eyes and to keep my mind on what I'm supposed to be doing. All right, because I see how Satan be trying to mess with me, always trying to make me do some dumb shit. All right. But as long as you keep yourself in the word, you keep yourself in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man, the Lord gonna be there fighting for you, man. Because the Lord said, I pray not that you fall to temptation. All right. Telling you when you had Peter was being sifted by Satan, he has said that I pray that you fail not. He was praying that Peter will keep going, keep in the faith. So that right there is a beautiful thing that you have Yahweh Shai praying for us to do what's righteously done, to make sure that, we don't dig a hole for ourselves. Because when you do that, man, you're just digging up a whole grave for yourself. All right. And that grave is an ugly grave. All right. So it says, let me read that one more time. It says Titus 1:16. It says that they profess to have the knowledge of Yahweh, but in works they deny him, and being abominable and disobedient and unto every good work of reprobate. Yeah, that's what you become, a reprobate. And those that know this word, 1 Corinthians 9:27, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means which I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. You see? So now you're teaching a good word, you're teaching a good message, but you yourself are making yourself a whole reprobate mind. You're making yourself a castaway. The Lord is using you just to get the word out, but he gonna end up destroying you. You see, that's scary right there. And the Lord could put lying spirits on you. The Lord can make you feel like you're doing the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You ain't doing nothing right. That'll be you falling into that strong delusion, believing in a whole lie. And you yourself is a whole damn lie. You know? This is Ephesians 4:22. It says that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts. Because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to bring in the new man, which is after Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. We're supposed to be that spitting image of Yahweh Shai. Okay? So let me read that one more time. Ephesians 4:22, that ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man. That's what that former conversation is. The old news. You see, you're no longer bringing back the past. You know, you ain't going to be that repeated offender. Okay, going back to the same shit over and over. Being habitual with things, man. You want to put off that old man, which is the corrupt, according to the deceitful law, the lusts. You're going to put on that new man, which is in the coming of Yahweh Shai. Okay? This is James 4:10, and it says, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. You know? You got to humble yourselves at all times, because that's what the Lord is dealing with, the humble, the meek, the poor. All right? Those that are making themselves as fools. Can't walk around like your shit don't stink. Can't walk around like, you know, like everything is all good, because it ain't. We're in a place where this place will destroy you with a sword of destruction. This is not our rest. Some people walk around out here like they done made the kingdom already, man. They don't see no crown on nobody's head. You know, we got to strive all the way to the end. Those that endure to the end are the ones that are going to receive that crown of life. Nobody has a crown of life yet, man. Nobody here knows if they are the elect, but we're going to push and put on as the elect to the best of our ability. That shows your faith, that you believe that you are of the elect. Okay? Beautiful. This is Matthew 25:30. It says, and cast ye the unprofitable servant in outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. You see? You don't want the Lord to come back, like it tells you in Matthew 24, man, that you were called a wicked and evil servant. All right. Matter of fact, let me grab that real quick. Wicked servant, KJV, Matthew 24. This is Matthew 24:48. But if that evil servant shall say, matter of fact, let me bring it up. This is Matthew 24:45. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord has made ruler over his household to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Doing what? Doing the works. Doing what was required. Occupying yourself in this truth. It says, verily I say unto you that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants and to eat and drink with the drunken. You see, that's the key right there. You're on camera doing what you're supposed to do, right? But when you come off of camera, you're eating and drinking with the drunken. Those that are drunk in this whole world, man, sleep, caught up on philosophies, man.
It says, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. Because that's what you are. You're a whole hypocrite for doing that. And the Lord's not dealing with hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right? Matter of fact, let me grab Luke 6. Pretty much the same thing that was said in Matthew, but sometimes it's good to hear it in different accounts. All right? This is Matthew 6 and give me 1 second. $37. It says, judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together, and running over shall men give into your bosom. For with the same measure that ye meet with all, shall all be measured to you again. And he spake a parable unto them. Can the blind lead the blind? Shall they not both fall into a ditch? Yeah, because here it is, all right, which that goes into these, these false prophets and things like that. But if you're trying to show that you're a righteous man just on the camera alone, and then when you come off the camera, you're not really leading by example. So you're just as blind as the next person that's wicked. And the blind is going to lead the blind. The Lord will put that spirit on you. Because how do you know that the person that you're teaching that's listening to you ain't doing the same thing? So now both of you are both in the same exact mode, and the Lord will do things like that, man. The Lord loves drama. Remember that. So, you might be doing the wrong thing. The person that's listening to you is doing the wrong thing. That's why y'all was meant to listen to each other or hear each other or learn from each other. Okay? And that will be the blind leading the blind. Shall they not fall both into a ditch? The disciple is not above his master, but every one that is perfect shall be as his master. See, so we want to be to the best of our ability like YAHAWAH'S will be. It says, and why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but perceivest not the beam that is in thy own eye? Either how canst thou say to thy brother, brother, let me pull out the mote that is in thine eye, when thou thyself beholdest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, cast out first the beam of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to pull out the mote that is in thy brother's eye. Same thing that was read in Matthew 7. A little bit different. You see? Matter of fact, let me read it. Let me read it from 41 in the NLT. It says, and why worry about a speck in your friend's eye when you have a log in your own? How can you think of saying, friend, let me help you get rid of that speck in your eye when you can't see past the log in your own eye? Hypocrite. First get rid of your own, get rid of the log in your own eye, then you will see well enough to deal with the speck in your friend's eye. You see? And that's important, man. That's right. This is Ecclesiastes 3:24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion has overthrown their judgment. That's why you don't go, lean to your own understanding, man. Because an evil suspicion has overthrown thy judgment. You thinking you're doing something right, but you're not. The Lord is setting you up for a whole okie doke. Shalakia. Let me go back to Ecclesiastes 19. And 20. The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law and the knowledge of his omnipotency. If a servant say to his master, I will not do as it pleaseth thee, though afterward he do it, he angereth him that nourisheth him. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners. Prudence. There is a wickedness, and the same an abomination, and there is a fool wanting in wisdom. He that has small understanding and feareth Yahweh is better than one that has much wisdom and transgresseth the law of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You see how important it is? Because you have this wisdom, you're out there preaching this wisdom, but you're still gonna go out there and transgress laws, man. That is the worst you could do. It was better that you had not all this wisdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It was better that you had just a little bit of wisdom and feared the Lord. Because now you're so deep into this truth. And once you went too deep, you better make sure you're doing what's right. That's right. This is Proverbs 11:9. An hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. Beautiful. So here it is, you're a whole hypocrite off camera teaching the word, but you're really destroying others. And demons jump from people to people, man. You might have a whole demon on you that'll jump on that person. You know? And then you start saying some shit off camera to this brother, make him think otherwise, and you're destroying that person. You see? It says, there's an exquisite subtlety, and the same is unjust. And there is one that turneth aside to make judgment appear, and there is a wise man that justifieth in judgment. There is a wicked man that hangeth down his head sadly, but inwardly he is full of deceit. Casting down his countenance and making as if he heard not. Where he is not known, he will do thee a mischief before thou be aware. And if for want of power he be hindered from sinning, yet when he findeth opportunity, he will do evil. A man may be known by his looks, and one that has understanding by his countenance when thou meetest him. And this is why you got to always prove a friend, man. There's some people that are there at that time, but they're not going to be there in the time of trouble. You know, they might just be there for their own. Let me grab that real quick. Ecclesiasticus 6. He's only there for his own occasion. Yeah. 8, 6, and 8. 7. If thou wouldst get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him, for some is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of trouble. And there is a friend who, being turned to enmity and strife, will discover thy reproach. Again, some friend is a companion at the table, and will not continue in the day of thy affliction. You see? So you got to be careful with that, man. You got to be careful who you're around. And that's why the Lord gives us the spirit of discernment, because we're able to tell by the fruits. We're able to see what he really about. You know? Let me grab this is Psalms 131. Psalms 131 and 1. And it says, Lord, my heart is not haughty, nor mine eyes lofty, neither do I exercise myself in great matters, or in things too high for me. Surely I have behaved and quieted myself as a child that is weaned of his mother. My soul is even as a weaned child. You see, so you're going to behave and quiet it yourself. Behave, you're going to do righteously before the Lord at all times, right? And you're going to wean, and it says, and you're going to quiet it myself. You're going to quiet yourself, meaning what? Remain humble, okay? as a child that is weaned of his mother. Yeah, because the mother is the wisdom. All right, let's grab that real quick. Where's that at? Ecclesiastes is no wait. Second Ezra's. Second Ezra's, I think is the 13th chapter. Yeah, 13 and 55. Thy life has thou ordained in wisdom. Matter of fact, let me 54. For thou hast forsaken thine own way and applied thy diligence unto my law and sought it. Thy life hast thou ordered in wisdom and has called understanding thy mother. You see? So that's what your true mother is. All right, there's knowledge and wisdom. So you're gonna, if you've been weaned from your mother, okay, that means you've had this knowledge in you this whole entire time. Fucking Satan and this bullshit. All right, that means you have had this mother, this understanding that has led you in the right way. What does a mother do with her child? A mother directs her, comforts their children, leads them in the right direction, teaches them the right things, like it tells you in, what is that, Titus the 2nd chapter, that a woman's supposed to teach her children, to do those things which are right, while the men are out there, holding down the gritty stuff, man. So it says, Psalms 131:1, surely I have behaved and quieted myself as a child that is weaned of his mother. My soul is even as a weaned child. Let Israel hope in the Lord for henceforth and forever. That's what we're supposed to do, man. All right. Matter of fact, let me grab Job. All right. This is Job 27:6. Job 27:6, and it says, I start from the top. 27:2. As Yahweh liveth, who has taken away my judgment, and the Almighty, who has vexed my soul, all the while my breath is in me, and the spirit of Yahweh is in my nostrils. My lips shall not speak wickedness, nor my tongue utter deceit. Yahweh forbid that I should justify you till I die. I will not remove my integrity from me. My righteousness I hold fast and will not let it go. My heart shall not reproach me so long as I live. You see? So point is, my righteousness I hold fast and I will not let it go. So you're supposed to, you can't just live righteously in front of the camera. You gotta live off the camera the same exact way, because you're not gonna let go of that righteousness that you have. You're gonna hold it fast all the way to the end. Same thing when it tells you, hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take away thy crown. Because the moment you're giving up your righteousness and you start to do that wickedness, you're giving up your crown to somebody else. You're supposed to hold that crown to the end. You see? Let me go to Titus, the brother had put it up. Titus 2:7. Actually, 2, and I'll start from the top, I believe. Titus 2 and no, 8 is where, 7. Yeah, that's where I want it. It says, in all, I'll start from 6. Young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works. You see? You don't just show that pattern of good works on the camera. You show that same thing, all right? You show that same thing in off the camera, man. Okay? It says, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works and doctrine showing uncorruptness. gravity and sincerity. See, we're supposed to be serving the Lord in sincerity and in truth. So if you're just doing it in front of the camera, but when you get off the camera, how's that sincerity and the truth that you're showing the Lord? You might as well not even teach. You know? It says, sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed. You see, you're of the contrary part. You're preaching this good word. You're telling the good news. You're giving the good gospel, but you yourself ain't living it. So you're on the contrary. All right. So that means you're against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You might as well call yourself a whole anti-Hamashiach. It says, having no evil thing to say of you, exhort servants to be obedient unto their own masters. See, this is what we're doing. We're exhorting servants, others that want to be servants of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, to live a certain way. Okay? To be obedient unto their own masters, and to please them well in all things, not answering again, not purloining, but showing all good fidelity, that they may adorn the doctrine of Yahweh, our Savior, in all things. Okay? For the grace of Yahweh that bringeth salvation has appeared to all men of this truth. Okay? All men of the Israelites. Okay? Because these heathens ain't gonna follow after Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. But eventually, you know, the time will be that they are going to respect and live by the ways of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. When Yahweh Shai takes over this new world, man, that new heaven, that new world, and establishes that righteousness upon the earth. It says, for the grace of Yahweh that bringeth salvation has appeared to all men, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly, you see, righteously and godly in this present world, looking for that blessed hope and glorious appearing of the great power and our salvation, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who gave himself for us that he might redeem us from all iniquity and purify unto himself a peculiar people, zealous of good works. Because that's what we are, this valued property. These things speak and exhort and rebuke with all authority. Let no man despise thee. You see? What's that scripture where it says, this is of a good people, a nation of understanding, KJV. Because we're supposed to be setting the example onto these other nations, man. Deuteronomy 4:6. Keep therefore and do them. We go up one. 4 and 5. Deuteronomy. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh, my power, commanded me, that you should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. So we're understanding, all right, what Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has wanted all people to do, starting with us, because this truth is for us, written by our people, to our people, for our people. All right, Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. But we're supposed to be setting an example to each other and setting an example to these nations of how you're supposed to live, man. Got to lead by example. Which that's the whole point of you performing off the camera. Not only by the camera, but off the camera, you have to lead by example. You know? Slack you. Pretty much the point. This is Philippians. Call Elohim La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, brother. Iron sharpeneth iron. This is Philippians 1:10. That ye may approve things that are excellent, that ye may be sincere and without offense to the day of Hamashiach. And that's why we doing these things, because you want to be perfect in the sight of the Lord, without spot and without blemish. When you are being, see, that's how it was when they were making sacrifices every time. They will make sacrifices in the ancient times, right? When we were going off, we had to make sacrifices, but we don't do no sacrifices anymore because Yahushua was the ultimate sacrifice. So sacrifice of animals is done away with. But when you have to sacrifice those times, you have to sacrifice, a sheep without blemish, without, without spots. I mean, not a sheep, goats. Yeah, I believe it was the goats, the sheeps. You have to, without spot or blemish. You see, so we ourselves are like, just like Yahushua was the lamb. We are many lambs that are being sacrificed. That's your goodly service to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, your godly service. Like it tells you in Romans the 12th chapter, the first verse. We're presenting our bodies as a living sacrifice. So we're like a mini lamb, sacrificing ourselves without spot or blemish. This is Timothy 4:12. It says, let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word and in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, and in purity. Fire. You see? Plain and simple. Ain't all the way. See, that's a scripture you read for verbatim. Word for word, for face value. Ain't no metaphor to that. Hebrews 8:5, who serve unto the example and shadow of heavenly things, as Moses was admonished of Yahweh, all right, when he was about to make the tabernacle. For see, saith he, that thou make all things according to the pattern showed to thee in the mount. Showing that goodly pattern, man. The things that are shown to you, you have to put them into effect on your daily basis of life. But like I said, man, you have to lead by example. That's pretty much the point. Let me see. Yeah, that's pretty much the point. Your performance off camera has to be the same as when you're preaching it. You have to lead by example. And if you don't, well, you're a whole hypocrite, man, before Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. And the Lord don't deal with hypocrites. The Lord's destroying hypocrites. All right. So I'm gonna end it off on that one through the spirit. The water, brother, for the fire, for the scriptures, as always. May Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai continue to bless you. All right. Keep fighting that good fight of faith. All right. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, call Haloyam La Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. The water, brother. Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, Barakatah, brother. Shalom, shalom.